body, dwell upon the feelings as feelings on feelings, and mind matters as mind matters, and all the other phenomena as phenomena. So this question is asking the discrimination between the Chittanupassana and Dhammanupassana. In simple English, it says that dwelling upon the mind on mind. That means see mental phenomena completely without prejudices or premeditative ideas. Just see the mental phenomena as mental phenomena. And then Dhammanupassana means whatever not come under the category of the body, the feeling and the mind, all the rest go to the Dhammanupassana, namely seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, tasting and thinking, for example. So whatever not falling under the Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana are being put as the phenomena, the natural other phenomena. So once the mind is reinforced, when the mindfulness is reinforced with the early 3 trainings, it is become qualified to see the phenomena as phenomena, Dhamma as Dhamma. That is the explanation given in the books. And when you practice, of course, you may get different other shades of meaning as to the difference between the Dhammanupassana and Chittanupassana. Venerable Bhante, do all the thoughts fall into either kusala or akusala categories? Are there any neutral thought for an non-arahant person? Can you please explain why an arahant person does not accumulate either kusala or akusala? My humble thanks. So as far as the kusala akusala is concerned, we have to understand kusala means the skillfulness and the akusala is unskillfulness. So therefore, all the thoughts we categorize. Some of them are good and we call it is skillful. Some of them are bad and it is called unskillful. And the question is whether there is a in between, indifferent kind of thoughts. So we can put it this way: each and every thought is followed by either liking or disliking. Uppajjati manapang, uppajjati amanapang. Whenever a thought happens, just like sight or hearing, as soon this happens, our mind has a kind of a liking and disliking. And only the thoughts which come under the category of liking and disliking goes to the memory, which is not striking either to the liking or disliking, never strike, never go to our memory. So therefore, they are not being dealt with, and we can't remember them. So therefore, if you are mindful to see the liking and disliking just followed automatically after the thinking, you will see that most peaks in the highest height of liking and disliking become remaining remarks and impingements in our faculties. Whatever come in the middle never go to the memory, never make any history. So therefore they become immaterial, as if we do not understand, we do not feel the feeling what we call no pain, no pleasure. We only feel pleasurable feeling and the painful feeling, but there is yet another chunk of feelings which is not come under the category of pain or pleasure. These things we are not concerned, we do not know, because we are chasing behind pleasure principle, increasing the pleasure, so therefore we are chasing behind. But whenever we get the discouragement and the pain, that is also we are aware, but in between there are no pain, no pleasure, that we do not know. That is what we call the ignorance, that is what we call our bewilderment, that is what we call that our callous nature. And pain and pleasure never lead to any kind of console. It is making you agitated, no peaceful. So if you wish to have a lasting peace, It is lying on the no pain, no pleasure feelings, but we are always bypassing them, overlooking them, because our mind only look for gross pain and pleasure. Exactly the thoughts, whenever it arises, it associates either liking or disliking, and we remember, we deal, we claim, we commit only for the thoughts which going to give a kind of a titillation, kind of an impingement, kind of an impression. And those thoughts which is not giving impression, we don't consider as thoughts. In the meditation jargon, it is called inert thoughts. It has no meaning. And they are usually not appear like a train thoughts, never appear like a chain thoughts. They are part and parcel of thoughts. When they come into the chain form only, a meaning happens. So if it is no pain, no pleasure, we don't pay attention, so therefore these thoughts will drop off without making a meaning, without making a theme. And those things we are not aware of. And that is why our negligence, that is what our unmindfulness. So if you give equal attention to the pleasurable thoughts, painful thoughts, and in between, you find most of the time we are in this in-between feelings, and that is the point we feel bored. That is the point we feel monotonous. That is why we feel cornered. That is why we feel insecure, so we will go for picnic, or go for a novel, or go for a newspaper, or go for talking with another person. Some or the other we titillate ourselves, because we don't like this neutral feeling. And that is the what in fact leading to the Nibbana or to the middle path. But our mechanism in the day-to-day always to hate it, to get rid of it, and to make ourselves amused in the liking and disliking. Some feeling which has kind of a titillation, kind of a stimulant. So therefore, whenever you come to know these kind of thoughts, that is called inert, that's a good sign you are nearing the concentration, and it's a very nice kind of mindfulness if you are really instructed, if you are really understanding the things as they are. But the Buddha recommend them as the solitude. When you go to the solitude, the kind of a thoughts happens. They are just neutral. They are not inert. So very easy for you to focus the attention to a object of meditation. Usually it is neutral, but at the agitated situation in the household and the emotional and tension, we don't feel. And even if at all we are feeling, we try to get it off thinking it is very boring. It is very monotonous. It is very no any essence. So we feel like something disgusting. We feel like cornered. So therefore we some or the other make. That is what we call hobbies. Hobbies are to fill the time whenever we feel neutral feelings. So therefore we mess ourselves and tense ourselves and think the whole world is such unfair, the whole world is really disturbing us, pulling ourselves from the center. But ultimately what happens is your selection, your choice. You are always selecting that is you are never selecting what is good for your well-being. You are selecting all what is just titillating, boosting your ego, boosting your conceit, boosting your views. So therefore, without giving a unassuming kind of attention, very difficult to understand this kind of neutral thoughts. They are very difficult to mention them as thoughts also. They are kind of energies. There's a kind of energy, they are not yet completely fully formed thoughts, but they have energy to come into shape if you give the attention. But I am not asking you to give attention. What I am telling is, be aware of these inner thoughts. They are primordial type of thoughts and always chattering behind, but no meaning. not addressing to someone. And you are nothing to forgive, but you have to be aware. Otherwise, you don't understand the whole picture of Chittanupassana. Because you are always biased to see pain and pleasure, desirable and undesirable, middle is missing. The knotting the two ends, desirable, undesirable, is the function of desire, is the function of tanha. Therefore, tanha is the figurative way the Buddha has given as the weaver, weaving these two, desire and the undesire, and skipping or overlooking the neutral thoughts. Whenever neutral thought happens, you feel boring.
The inner chatter.
Yeah.
When you try to be silent, you can feel that you are talking to somebody or trying to say something to somebody.
So it's a kind of energy bubbling all the time. And if you look at it, you have some kind of meanings. But it is no theme, not addressing to someone, not aim at someone. So you can feel it behind there. But still, if you are sharp and if you are made up your mind, being the situation given, so still you can associate the primary object. You can be with the in-breath and out-breath. That is how you master the thought, mental faculty. That is, in a sense, we call vitakka vicay. The mastering of the applying thoughts. There's one way the boiling pot like thoughts are happening. And their primary object is available. You have the choice to select the inner thoughts, but sometimes called background thoughts, or the primary object. So if you select the primary object, still you can be aware the inner chatter is going on, but still you are very safe, you are very well directed, well oriented as far as you are being with the primary object. While it is happening, you see inner chatter become slowly fading off. It is happening in a passive way, but you get pushed up. You understand the mindfulness is getting a good turn. So therefore, that can you please explain why an arhat person does not accumulate either kusala or akusala? Because whenever the person becomes an arahant, even if it is repulsive thing, or vision, or pain, or thought, he can see the good of it. He can see the beautiful side of the repulsive thing. And he can see the repulsivity of the repulsive thing. He can see the neutral side of the repulsive thing. That is his special ability. Even the auspicious thing happens, he can see the repulsive side of that auspicious thing. He can see the auspicious side of the auspicious thing. He can see the neutral part of that. So whatever the object happens, he has three facets all the time. He is not limited and bounded. So therefore, first sight, he may see this repulsive, this is auspicious, this is medium type. But by balanced mind, he says it is up to me to create the impression. And I have three options at any time. So why should I worry for the next and compare the next, the other one? All are the same. So yes, he is not carried away because he is having the choice. It is called the miracle of the Arahant mind. It is not taken away, taken for a ride by the object. He has the mastery. He can have any option. He can see the bad of the good thing, good of the bad thing, or neutral of it. So therefore, he is unaffected by it. So like when you have air balance in the room, whether outside the cool or the warm, it never matter. The system will balance the air and come to the particular temperature at any given bad weather. It is there, so therefore even the outside is warm or cool, never mind, the ambient balance is there, so the engineers fix it very nicely. Likewise, Parant's mind can assimilate good out of the bad, bad out of the good, and the neutral. So he is not subjected to what is the facial value, what is the superficial value. You can penetrate to. Yes, because if you see a vomited food by a dog, even it is not a very repulsive, very, very attractive. But you see, the very food, before eating the dog, it was very attractive and any person would have shared. But once the contamination happened with the dog and came out exactly the same Pataviyapu Tejo Vayu, and now we have a complete uncivilized, repulsive nature. It is not due to the food itself, due to our impression. And it is for a crocodile or for an alligator, it's a very nice delicacy. Even it's a vomited thing of the dog, for a crocodile it is not that. Oh, sorry, for alligator. It eat it. And when it see the alligator coming and eating this thing, and be like, what? Get up please, I can't look at you like that. It will come and say, what nonsense you are talking. Really, I get this kind of a delicacy. What you are talking about? Exactly when you take a beautifying woman or whatever may be the male, for a female or for the God or for the Buddha or for another person, exactly being happy like a trap. It is nothing to get decided, it's a trap. And when someone is nearing, the person nearing will feel, what a luck, I got it, blah, blah, blah. But the Buddha knows now he is nearing the trap. So he feels the danger of it. Because he sees the whole picture. So therefore each and every good thing has a bad. Every bad thing has a good. And if you look at it, there is no good and bad, it is always 50%. Always 50%. You are the one imposing the values and then you get attracted or distracted. That is, what you impose upon is what you eat back. So therefore, Arahant has no imposing. So therefore, at the beginning, his normal I will say this is a bad thing and good thing. But by analyzing its Dhatu Manasikara, that means that the 4 elements, everything is 4 elements. 4 element wise, nothing to get repulsive, nothing to get attractive. So he is safe. As my mindfulness and concentration has grown stronger and stronger, I have found my kilesas, defilement, seems to risk more frequently as each day of the retreat goes on, as if challenging my mindfulness, as it goes stronger. Can you please advise? This is called the sensitivity. Whenever you practice, your sensitivity increases, so therefore even a tiny impact make a big amplification. For example, when you keep the violin hang on the wall and not much well tuned, even if you play, it won't give a very nice rhythm. Once it's tuned very nicely, start the particular vibration, and then it is melody, it becomes a melody. But once tuned, until it's tuned, it is not like that. So likewise, the common beings are not well tuned, they are instruments, so therefore even stuck it gives a very flat sound. But once it's tuned, it develops vibration and revibration, so it becomes a melody. Likewise, when we practice, it becomes very sensitive, very subtle, and then you have to protect them in order to keep this subtlety, keep this sensitivity low. So, for example, as I mentioned that day, that if you keep an axe, even if it is sharp, no problem, you can keep it there, no one can get harmed. But if it is a very nice sharp knife, once it's sharpened, you must not keep it because children may come and get damage themselves, so you have to keep it in high or something like that. But if you are sharpen a barber razor, always you have to keep it somewhere else, because by touching itself you can get damage. So likewise, more and more you sharpen it, you have to keep it in the protected way. So once the mindfulness also once sharpened, you can not only see the superficial value, you can see through. And then you understand how vulnerable we are because of our rut, because of our habit of negligence. So we are often go near to the dangers. And the danger itself is not coming to us. We are the one going to the danger. Earlier the better, you can understand it. So mindfulness and the other sensitivity, well ahead of your reaching it, comes to you now, you are on the wrong track. This is going to be so and so. So you are protected. But when the transitional period, when the sharpening happens, it appears like danger is coming close and close like. But that is not what happens. You try to feel as and when it's going to happen. So therefore, once it is well established, you will see prevention is better than cure. You can prevent yourself because you can foresee what is the direction where you are going. But if you are not cultivated your mind, even the Buddha come and say this is wrong path, you will count out. But here not the second person, you yourself knows this way is wrong. So therefore you are well protected. This is happening while it is improving. While the transition happens, you feel like you are more vulnerable than earlier because your sensitivity increases. So you have to understand it. So my way of answering this is, as the sensitivity increases, if you are not tightening the belts, bolts and nuts regarding the moral restrainment, then the problem happens. So more and more you feel sensitive, you have to give the due moral respect or moral precepts in order to keep you up. And it is available in the world, so you have to go to more and more cultured people and take more and more precepts, which is not much distracting but appear to be very conducive. And that is how you give more value to the prevention rather than the cure. Because you are the only person now I can feel how precious is this moment. Unless otherwise you expose it to the vulnerability. And that is why you feel like associating with the noble friends, listening to the deep Dhamma, and keep yourself in the solitude as much as possible in order to prevent and protect this precious thing. So therefore it is not something you have to do, part and parcel, it is something happening to you, but you must know how to facilitate it. You must know how to help support it. And that is what we call the culture, the Buddhist culture. It have options, many options when you develop. In Dhamma, it is called Openaika. Openaiko Bhagavato Dhammo. Openaika means it is always leading from gross to the subtlety. In your livelihood, in your speech, in your deeds, and your association, your thinking pattern, your liking and disliking, ever changing. So if you are not keen about that, if you are not facilitating it, then you are not giving the due value for the precepts, for the sila. Then you have to suffer. So you have to uplift the sila. Sila must become adi-sila. Panya become adi-panya. Chitta become adi-chitta. Ever refining it is going on. Can you please explain the difference between Theravada and Mahayana for our Sutta. I think I am not qualified to do because I have not done much studies about the Mahayana. And being my standpoint, if I am going to say, I will say all the bad side of the Mahayana and the good side of the Theravada. So therefore, it is not much of a... Yesterday you would have asked this question when that the other monk was there, because he is happy and positive regarding the Mahayana tradition. And still he came to the Theravada, and he is in a better position. We have only the blinkers, only the Theravada is correct and Mahayana is wrong, and then we are stereotyped, we are biased. So basically, for my understanding, the Theravada accept in this very life concept, but the Mahayana do not. They say that you have to keep on perfecting until you become the fully enlightened being. But with Mahayana, Theravada, we accept even the Arahanthood is really enough for us to emancipate. So therefore, our path is threefold: Arahant, Pacceka Buddha and Samma Sambuddha, and we are striving to become Arahant. So therefore, it is called minor path or minor vehicle. That is Hinayana. This is, they are still not full enlightenment, so you have to go to the complete enlightenment, Maha Samma Sambuddha. Till that you have to accept your Bodhisattvahood, or Buddha to be, and keep on helping the others. So therefore, Mahayana basically taking the Maha Karuna rather than the Maha Panya, and Theravada taking the Maha Prajna than the Maha Karuna. The Buddha is the only one has both are in the same, Karuna and Prajna balance. So therefore, Mahayana monks and the tradition is concerned about the well-being of the others and do social works and all the kind of things. But the Theravada says, you go to the forest and mind your own business and be mindful and meditate. So therefore, Mahayana is always saying Theravada is very selfish. Theravada is very self-centered kind of thing. And when you, from the other side of that argument, we can say they are always engaged with the external well-being and they are doing less and less meditation. So to give a, bias from the Theravada point of argument, my teacher, Upandita Sayadaw, one day he was in the airport in Bangkok in the transit, maybe about few hours. So he is waiting with his translator, and there had been a very renowned Mahayana master also came on the same flight in the transit, and they were meeting each other, but both of them can't speak. He knows only Burmese, the other one knows only Japanese, and then the translators are there. So ultimately they agreed to share their views. And then the Mahayana monk has mentioned that Theravada is very selfish, concerning about individual liberation, and instead we are not. We wait till the last blade of grass become Buddha. We keep on perfecting ourselves, not only beings, even the blade of grass has to enlighten, till that we are perfect. Then Buddha, our Sayadaw has mentioned that it's not an argument which is started 2 or 3 days before, 2 or 3 years before. Till the time of the Buddha it was there, and the people were telling that helping others is much, much better. But the Buddha gave an answer: when everyone is bogged down in a muddy place, and without you help yourself, go to the dry place and help it, if you are going to raise the other person, what will happen to you? You will get sunk in the mud, because all of them are in the mud. Surrounded by mud. In the mud, in the bog. And therefore, how can a person who is already bogged down and raise another person who bogged down, and if it's a particular person who is trying, will sink and get inundated. And therefore, best thing is, the wise way is, forget about everything, go to a dry land, and after going to the dry land, mind your own business. And this is the Sayadaw says, one has to, with the wisdom you have to understand, everyone is in the same boat. So best thing is to me to go. And then if he is not helping others, that is selfish. So therefore, once you go there vehemently, you have to try a dry pole or something like that, put there and ask them to take it out, but make sure you are in the safe ground, dry land. So therefore, the selfishness and opportunities are two things. Those who are thinking, I am also in trouble, but I am happy to help you, it's a definitely an opportunity. He is not qualified to do it. He is also in the trouble. Without getting that, without sharing this view, if say as a savior to the other person will be happy. But definitely both are going to face the trouble. So therefore, have to accept the fact we are in the unsafe situation. First, the person, intelligent person has to go, and there you can say you are selfish, yes. But your selfishness has to go to the dry land, and immediately you take care about others. If it is so, therefore the Buddha never selfish and never opportunist, and before the enlightenment he completely cut off from the world. And he tried to emerge himself, and then 45 years, without day and night, he went for the benefit of the others. So therefore he is balancing. One has to understand this. Still I would say my argument is to prove that Hinayana is good. So, but anyway, that since there are no someone to defend the Mahayana, I think I am taking a wrong opportunity.
But Bhante, by example, Buddha said that example because when he had his first 60 disciples, until he had his first 60 disciples or something, I may be wrong, but you can correct me. In the beginning, he was not asking these monks to go out and help others, but he said, help yourself first. When he got first 60 Arahant or something, then he said that famous truth or something. Don't go into one way, but go in different way and help others.
Yeah, so once they are galvanized, once they prepare the good product, good for all the conditions, then he tells Charada Vikkhave Charikam Bhajana Hitaya Bhajana Sukhaya Atta Hitaya Sukhaya Deva Manusaya. So once go and preach the Dhamma to the people, Bhajana Hitaya Bhajana Sukhaya, for the benefit of many and for the welfare of many. Meanwhile, take care about your well-being too. Not all out. Maintain your integrity, your vinaya and all the kind of things do. And then not only the human, even the Deva and Brahma will be benefited. So therefore, of course the Burmese masters are well armed with this situation because that country has been devastated by the Mahayana influence. Even in Sri Lanka it happens. We burn our fingers during the Mahavihara and Abhayagiri Vihara conflict happens. Abhayagiri took over and Mahasena, the king, took the Mahayana side and he destroyed all the Theravada temples and neglected about. And then the Mahasena's major, army general, he took the Theravada side and then declared the war. And the king told, I don't care that even the general come against me. They were preparing for the war. And the head-to-head fight. And there had been a very accidental thing during both the sides of the Mahabali Ganga, the Mahabali river. The major is this side and the king is this side. Tomorrow morning they are going to have a confrontation. At the night, the major soldiers have killed a wild fowl, Valikukulu, and they have cooked in this thing. And it was very delicate. When he is eating, he felt, whenever I entertain this kind of delicacy, my habit was to share with the king. And today it is so delicate, but the king is in the opposite side. So I can't eat it, because I feel the affection to the king. So he sent a message to the king, that the general wished to meet him. Then king has told, if he come unarmed, I accept it. Then he says, yes, I am coming unarmed. So he went with the bowl, the delicacy, and told, I have eaten this, all my good things which I have with you, sir. And today even you might become the rivalry, I can't do away with it. So I don't feel like eating it. Then the king tasted it, of course it is yes. And then while eating they asked, you see, what a wonderful day we are now fighting tomorrow morning, now eating from the same dish. Then the general has told, even we are eating from the same dish, definitely I will kill you tomorrow because you are doing something. You have taken the Mahayana. I can't excuse on that ground. But they have my affection, you my boss. Then the king has understood and he told that this particular person is such a honest and straightforward. Then he says, I declare that I will change my policy. And that day onward, he became again the Theravada. And it has been written in the Mahavansa, each and every Burmese person, they know than Sri Lankan. This is it. That is how The king safeguard, then onward, not let the Mahayana to come into Sri Lanka. But when you go to Burma, completely other way around. It is surrounded by China and all the countries, and tradition is 95% Maya. And sorry to say, even Sri Lanka, 90% of present-day Buddhism is Mahayana, whether you like it or not. All rituals. Those who are supporting, thinking this we are coming from the real blood and we are fighting for the real thing, but they are ultimately you are supporting this whole superficial rituals. So therefore, our enemy is not external, it is within ourselves, internal. Unless otherwise you develop Satipatthana, you don't know where is your direction. Satipatthana is the only intrinsic, personal character of the Theravada tradition, talking about the mindfulness and the vipassana in this very life. Whenever you are overlooking it or see through it, that means knowingly or unknowingly you are supporting the wrong purpose.
Practicing mindfulness, it means you think that yes, it is possible.
Yeah, but anyway, that when you are practicing, you see a lot of kilesas. When the mindfulness sets in, you are bound to see a lot of kilesas. So therefore, you can't do it alone. You have to have mindful friends and the instructions and teachers, and then it is a lifelong experiment. So often, whenever it happens, you have to deal with a senior meditator and share it. And that is the real meaning of dispensation of Buddha, Buddha Sasana. When Buddha Sasana is available, you are not lost, you are not cornered. If there is no Buddha Sasana, whatever the effort you take, it is never going in the correct direction. So we are in a good opportunity, but if we are not making use of it, it is not the mistake of other religions. It is not the mistake of other fundamentalists. We don't know where are we heading, directed for. Venerable Sir, can you explain what is meant by the Ayoniso Manasikara? So it is that one has to understand the Manasikara, and when you explain the Manasikara, you have to see the shades of meaning of the Manasikara, Vitakka and Chetana. All these three have similarities, but still different shades of meaning. Chetana also applying your mind to the object, applied thought, we call it the Vitakka. And Manasikara also directing towards the particular object again and again. And the Chetana, the will, also directing into the same object to fulfill your desire. So therefore, all the three has that kind of a directing capacity, but it says that example given, I don't know how far it is going to solve the problem. If there is a boat driven by a lot of rowers, and we say the boat is going for the competition, and row of rowers are there, they are always rowing, and there's a front leader, and behind there's a rudder. Each and every rower is like a Vitakka. They keep on fighting. And the rudder is the one, Manasikara, it changes where the boat has to go. And the leader in front of is commanding everyone, the rower as well as the person who is making the rudder, to give the direction. So the commander in front of is like a Chetana, the rudder is like the Manasikara, each and every rower is like Chetana, Vitakka. So this is how the direction is taken. If the Chetana and the rudder is not communicating, it's a wastage of time. And the rowers are not giving the due support, whatever the command given, no problem. So unmeditated mind, the Vitakka is completely Samya, Manasikara is Samya, Chetana is Samya. They say, I am disappointed, my wishes are not fulfilled, I don't know what to do, and all the kind of things. Because you are not aligning your powers, and then the power line is not working, then no transmission. Whenever the power line aligns, transmission is immediate. No one has to change it. So the vitakka, the manasikara, the chetana has to come the same direction, and then the manasikara goes yoniso manasikara. Still if the object is the wholesome one. If the object is not the wholesome one, still the manasikara is a very wild thing. Once it is given the direction, the boat will be going there. Whether you accept it or not, whether your wish fulfilling or not. So therefore, manasikara can take ayoniso and yoniso. Yoniso manasikara is recognized as patha manasikara. Patha manasikara, that kind of synonyms are given. That means ignore the path. Yoniso manasikara. Ayoniso manasikara is bewildered. You don't know where are you are energizing, but you don't know which direction. So then you are heading to unknown or unexpected difficulties. So sabbe putu jana ummatara. From the Buddha, all the people, those who have not developed this mindfulness and go to the correct path, they are deranged. They are, in simple sense, they are the mad. They are lunatics. They are deranged. So because their manasikara is not disciplined. So therefore, their very manasikara is going against their will. They are going against their desire. So ultimately, energy you burn is going to kill you, going to destroy you, going against you. So therefore, till you align this thing, the vitakka, the manasikara and the chetana, you have to say sorry. That's all. What? Bhante, during the initial stage of Vipassana meditation, we seek the guidance of the teacher. You have mentioned during the morning discourse that there come a stage where the progress is self-propelled or autopiloting. Where does this progress begin? And kindly explain, Thero Sarai. So this is a stage you feel kind of a solace and comfort. You can keep the primary object face to face for a long time. And without much of the effort, they mutually understand each other. Whenever it jump away for the thought, again come back naturally to the primary object. Even if it jump away to the sound, again naturally come back to the primary object. So, provided that the primary object and the observed mind become face to face, you are bound to see the evolution of the primary object. If you are looking haphazard way, you can't see the evolution. You have to keep an eye focused upon that, and then you can see whether it is increasing or decreasing or becoming gross or subtle or like or dislike, internal, external, whatever may be you see. When this is, and Buddha explained, whenever you focus your attention to one thing for longer period, the desire reduces. If you are changing the object, again and again desire becomes renewed. That's why people are changing objects all the time, just to keep your desire uplifted. But if you look at one thing for a long time, what happens is you develop the desire dwindle to happen. That is what says in Sinhala, Devele datina kukula karamala mevele pene takadema suduvela.
An English translation, sir?
That you have to do it. I am not such a good poet in English. So if you are going to see anything, I can give a very good example. That very good example is the love before marriage and after the marriage. It is classic. Before the marriage, everything is golden and brilliant and everything, yes, anything you need, please let me know. I will do it. But what happens after the marriage? And therefore, what happens in the Hollywood? All the time they are changing. Wife is changing, husband is changing. In the Hollywood, one day that one actress going for the second marriage, and she had a young daughter. And the young daughter is crying and telling that I also have to go to the party. But the mother has told no. It is none of your business, you have to be at home, I will go. But anyway, that girl is crying. Meanwhile, the boyfriend came. And then he felt affection to the young girl and asked, what is this? And the mother told, she's so naughty, she's demanding to go to the party. But I denied, no. Then the boy, really going to marry now, and the boyfriend told, would you mind to consider my request? Please let her come. Never mind. And then she has promised that young girl to go there and don't do any naughty things. And then the mother has told, yes, only for this time, not for the next wedding. This is Hollywood. Because they are always changing, because you can't be with the same person. And that is exactly happen if you keep the object in face to face. You feel boredom. You feel monotonous. You feel headache. You feel you're cornered. You feel outcasted. Because object is evolving. Evolution, if you keep sensing, not towards the desire means samsara, this is to the liberation. This is the emancipation. But we read it as boredom. We read it as monotonous. We read it as no go, no dramatic. Everything is pale. Everything is exactly the same. So when that happens, you feel something, a relationship between the object and the mind is happening. If you are to facilitate it, if you are to support it, you must be well prepared. You must be well aware and understand the situation. And whenever you come to know this art, whenever the boredom happens, that's a very nice symptom of the progress of the meditation. And keep on with not only the one sitting, it happens 1,000 times. And then you come to know, the more and more you cut through this boredom and try to keep the object with, then you need not much of energy. Then situation come under autopiloting. Only you are doing is not letting the boredom to set in, not letting the hatred to come and set in, not let this the flat taste to come and set in, lethargic and sliminess. You just try to keep as much as possible your vigilance, the diligence, and see object is slowly fading. And in that progress, when you go there, you feel the art. That is not the art you learn in the worldly languages and the worldly subject. It is going against the grain. And there you feel, at that time you must not exert so much of energy. Just release it. Just let it take its own autopilot, self-propelling. And then you know this is what we call the going against the grain. This is not taught in any languages or any subject in the world. World language is to change the object often. That is what the market economy is doing. That is what the consumerization means. That is what this self-pleasure or sensuous pleasure means. Always you have to change the fashions. You can see the costumes. And you can see the food. You can see house and the architecture. And you can see the medicine. And whatever may be, the medicine has to keep on changing. Otherwise people won't buy. On the same product you have to come under different package and different names. Otherwise you won't buy. So this is the mechanism. So Buddha says, don't fight with them, observe with the birth itself. And when the boredom sets in, have a double-fold mindfulness, double-fold vigilance. The desire is for the samsara, relinquishment always with the symptom of boredom. But if you are going to hate the boredom, God bless you. That's all you have to take.
Then you are going to feed the Maha.
Yeah. The selfish. So then you have to go for the God and say, please God, take care about me and blah, blah, blah. Because you lost yourself, you have no backbone. Because you are always chasing behind this renewal of the posture, renewal of the teachers, meditation centers, food, dwelling, and all the kind of things. Then go show. 6 minutes more.
So, according to what you said, this is a very crucial point for me. That's why I asked that. That technique is simple. Because if you keep to the object, your progress is assured. But the real point is, of course now you know the answer, but I'm just reiterating, just to see whether I'm right. It's just to observe the point, because mind goes away and you bring the mind back until it becomes autopiloting, self-propels progress. But the thing is that, you're sick of, trying to repel all these thoughts and all that. You think there's no solution or there's no results, because I all the time fight against all these thoughts that are coming. So the philosophy behind, I think a lot of your preaching is that this particular point, if you're saying whatever that you see, if you go back to your focus, then that itself is meditation, because you're happy that you came back to your object, and you realize that you're away from your main object. That realizing itself is meditation, I believe, because you realize that you have deviated from your main path, that you need to correct yourself and go back to the middle path.
And that if I am to add something, that whenever you come back, even if it is boring and even if it is flat and sickening, it is going against your desire, your conceit, and your views. Because your view says, why you are going for the same old rotten thing? We will go for something new. And your mana, your conceit says, I am not such a person, I want to think about something new. And ego is coming and telling, why don't you do something? And you have to understand, whenever the ego manifests, the conceit manifests, and the view manifests, it appears like a novelty, it appears like some kind of a good idea. Why don't you try this one? And they come and give so much of advices. So, what you appreciate the same old object with the monotony, knowing the monotony aside, or the Godapera Kodoruka. The advice given by the conceit, advice given by the view, advice given by the ego, it appears very familiar, it appears very warm, it appears very friendly. But the Buddha says they are Vanchanika Dhamma, they are desire in disguise, and they are undercurrent tendencies. Unless otherwise you go aware of it. Daily what you do is knowingly or unknowingly nourishing, fertilizing your ego, your desire for the ego and the views and the conceits. So that if someone going to point out, you will definitely go against that particular person saying, don't poke fingers into my psychology. It appears like a very deeply touching yourself. So your mindfulness itself has to do the task. Mindfulness has to come to, this is Ayurveda Manasakara. Now you are helping and supporting your ego. You are helping and supporting your conceit. You are helping and supporting your view. And second person, Buddha says, even I don't do it because it is detrimental. It's a very malice for the second person to come and say, you don't like. And then you have to read it. And it happened after 1001 mistakes. Not a single person can it understand in its first outset. No, it is happening after 1000. That is why we have to discuss again and again. That is why we have to listen again and again. That is why we have to interview again and again and tell him, may my knowledge come into the proper time and indicate what is the real friend and what is the disguised as a friend or counterfeit friend. So this is a chance. This is completely electric, completely a chance. And moment you know, you are a different person. It is happening in such an intrinsic way. Moment you come to know, you understand how to use the knowledge for your welfare, or to use so-called knowledge harmful to yourself. No second person, it is your own correction of the perspective. One more minute. Okay, that supposing that no more questions.